selling.
Mary Hall suggests the Crown could have handled Homolka very differently.
There's another way of dealing with an accomplice who gives evidence, and that is to try to distance the prosecution from the witness and actually treat that witness with a certain amount of disdain, that members of the jury, I'm sorry I have to call this kind of evidence, but we do, and call it.
And not wrapping them in this fuzzy blanket of being a victim.
Yes.
In the sense that she was a victim too.
I had some difficulty putting Karla Homolka on that same level as what I believe were the true victims.
In the summer of 1995, Karla Homolka testified against Paul Bernardo at his trial. Bernardo's lawyer was John Rosen.
I would pound her with terrible stuff, and she would get stronger and stronger and stronger. And at the end of it, no one in that room or anybody following that trial would ever have believed that she suffered from post-traumatic stress disorder, or that she was a battered spouse, or that she didn't have the intestinal fortitude to walk out and blow the whistle and save herself, never mind the victims.
Because the tougher you got, the stronger she got?
Exactly. Exactly. And so the facade was of the victim, of the battered Karla, was stripped away, and the true tough little girl from St. Catharines was revealed.
In March of 1996, Justice Patrick Galligan published what was meant to be the last word on what was termed a distasteful but necessary alliance between the Crown and Karla Homolka. He agreed prosecutors behaved properly in not charging her with the attack on Jane Doe, saying, among other things, that it would have damaged her credibility as a witness against Paul Bernardo. It would be saying, he wrote, her credibility was not worth supporting in the first place, a point on which Homolka's critics might agree. Justice Galligan and all of the Crown attorneys who supported Homolka's deal declined our requests for interviews, as did the Crown psychiatrist, citing a confidentiality agreement the Crown is still enforcing.
If Homolka wasn't the victim the Crown said she was, then who was she? One psychiatrist who examined Homolka said she was the perfect female accomplice. Because of her plea bargain, her role in the deaths of the girls was never fully explored. Invisible Darkness, a book by Stephen Williams, examines what he believes is the true nature of Karla Homolka.
I think she was desperately afraid of getting caught and desperately afraid of going to jail. The motivation for these murders, everyone agrees, was not sexual. The only possible motivation was to conceal crimes. There's no one who disagrees with that. What the Crown wants us to believe is that it was Paul Bernardo who was the murdering force who wanted these girls dead.
And you think?
And I think that it's exactly the opposite, because Paul Bernardo had no history of killing anyone to conceal his crimes. He didn't think he would ever get caught.
I said, well, we have to go to my parents for Easter dinner. And he said, well, why don't we just not go? And I said, well, I don't think it would look very good. I mean, we're supposed to go to my parents for Easter dinner and we don't go. And I said, well, how's it going to look if, you know, this girl's missing and we have no alibi? We haven't gone anywhere, we haven't done anything. And he said, well, I guess you're right. And because he wanted to keep her for longer. And I didn't want to. Like, I was going to work. I didn't want to go to work knowing that this girl was in my house and she could escape so easily. And I was afraid. So I didn't suggest to him that we kill her on Sunday. But I knew that she had to be gone.
When Paul Bernardo was alone with numerous victims and had the opportunity, he never killed any of them. The only time that people ended up dead is when Paul was in the presence of his wife. I don't know who did the killing, I do know, however, that women and men are equally capable of doing evil and doing wrong, and that in this particular instance, I'm not so certain that that fact was appreciated.
There was justice served, in your view, in this
Yes.
case. 3 dead girls.
Yes. 3 dead girls.
She could have helped them and didn't.
Yes.
Involved in the death of her sister.
Mm-hmm.
Could have stopped it. Didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Is that justice, what she got?
Well, do you want to talk in terms of retribution? I know I'll be criticized for it, but I do believe that justice was served.
He was already talking about going out and doing it again. And I said, there's no way I'm going through another murder again, no way. The lease on the car was running out. My parents were going to co-sign a loan for $10,000. I was going to do something before that loan was co-signed and before he made me go with him to murder another girl. There was no way I was going to go through either of those events.
The Fifth Estate will be right back. That's our show for this week. For everyone here at the Fifth Estate, I'm Gillian Findlay. Thanks for watching. See you soon.